Hello there. Welcome to my reaction to more terrible gaming hot takes by the Actman. I did a reaction some time ago on the original gaming hot takes, and I did one on Elden Ring 1, where everything began. Anyway, and I want to do more Actman reactions just because that's the way I can show support as a reaction channel, I think. Maybe that his content matters, that people watch this. Even my small reaction channel still gets a lot of views because of the Actman's videos, so he has a good fan base and there is no need to throw it away. I don't know. That's how I feel. I mean, he does a good thing, but I just hope it doesn't bite him in the ass. Anyway, I'm not sure what this is gonna be about. I'm not sure what game's gonna be in it. Unlike the Elden Ring one, that was clear. Anyway, yeah, just justice for Actman, I guess, for the Actman. And like, comment, subscribe, become a member. Let's begin.
You know what always makes me feel better about my own terrible opinions? Taking a fat dump on someone else's. What's up, everybody?
Makes sense.
This is the Actman here, and today we're going to be looking at even more gaming hot takes. I will warn you, these are boiling hot, scalding, burning hot takes. Mass Effect isn't political enough.
Oh no.
Doom Eternal hates women? People really seem to enjoy that other video I made, so why not do it again? There's no shortage of hot takes. Now I must warn you.
Then why didn't you do more until
this
Elden
video
Ring came
might
out?
be a little political. He said the P word? Sorry,
Okay.
your cis white woman protagonist
So it is the one that you wrote.
progressive. Oh no, years of game development wasted. It's not progressive. What I like about this article is you don't even have to read a single word of it to know they have no idea what they're talking about. Let's play a little game called What's Wrong with This Picture? Protagonist? I'm sorry, who's the protagonist in Resident Evil Village again? Is it Lady Dimitrescu?
Also,
on her
she's
way
not.
to kidnap Rose? Is
She
that
white? Does she
what
count
the
as
game was
white?
all about? The future is bright.
In the Mass Effect one, there's a character creator. You can do whatever. She doesn't have to be cis. Wait. Cis born as a woman. Is that how that works? Or cis straight? I don't remember. But you don't have to be straight. That's for sure. It's a weird choice of 3 characters. And, what's it, Eternal? Who cares? That's not what the game is about at all. Like in Mass Effect, you can say something about it because there's romance in it and you can choose. But there's character creation. She doesn't have to be white. She doesn't have to look like that at all. And her sexuality is of your choosing. Then Lady Dimitrescu is just Dimitrescu? The big woman. I think she speaks with an accent. At least an English voiceover, so I don't know. She could have been something else than just white before becoming a giant vampire. I don't know. And Eternal is just... It has nothing to do with romance. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
For the current and upcoming crop of AAA releases, other people are excited for these games because in their eyes, these games speak to a welcome shift in game culture as every one of these titles either stars or prominently features women.
Immediately backpedaling. You put in the title protagonist, you show a picture for your article that not necessarily has all the protagonists, and then in the article itself you just say stars or features women. Woo!
See, up until this point,
there were no
recently,
women
have
games.
never had a major role in video
Yeah,
games.
that was I
because
was
they were
thinking
considered
Metroid.
by, everyone as being too political for that sort
Tomb
of
Raider.
thing. So
Doom Raider.
we really have been making progress.
Oh, that's a good
guys.
game,
We
Mirror's
finally
Edge.
have leading predominant female
Just Remember
characters.
Me.
But when I look at these games, my excitement
Remember Me is not a white...
dims into frustration. Though these games star women, all the women are white.
Or voiced by white.
Or
Fuck
voiced by
off.
white actresses. Can I just ask real quick, does anybody actually give a shit about voice acting diversity?
No.
It doesn't even make sense. You're
Like
voicing
fucking Kratos, the god of war. He's as white as it gets because he has his skin is ash color because of, well, ash. I guess he's gray then. Whitish, grayish. Doesn't matter. In the new game, or the new like lineup of games starting 2018 and Ragnarok, and probably forward, unless he dies. I don't know. He's voiced by a black dude, by Christopher Judge. He has an amazing voice. I cannot envy a man enough just for his voice. He's also a fucking unit, but that's besides the point, talking about voice acting. And it couldn't work better. I couldn't give less shit. And Kratos is, like, even if you take the magic ash stuff out, he's from Greece. He's, well, technically white. Or, like, relatively. How far is Greece? I don't know. I don't know the classification. It doesn't matter. And it's so good. But nobody's gonna speak about it because it's a black voice actor, right? If it was the opposite, if it was black character voiced by a white person, that's where the outcry is. And bullshit. It doesn't matter if the voice fits. Fantastic. If it doesn't, cry about it. I'll cry with you. If a character I would enjoy has like a voice I wouldn't enjoy, that will piss me off. That will be annoying. Don't give a shit about race. I don't hear races. You know how people say I don't see races, I don't see color? I don't hear it. I don't give a shit. Neither should you. Frankly, I don't know.
Character that's not you. You're not there. Who cares what color your skin is if you can voice the character well?
What's a statue?
I remember this whole voice acting
texture
debate, like up on Twitter maybe a year and a half ago, and I'm kind of like, wouldn't it just be boring if you had to voice act a character that had the same skin color as you? Wouldn't that restrict opportunities for literally everybody?
Also,
isn't that the opposite of progress?
Also, the big problem is, let's say a Japanese company makes games with Japanese characters in it, like, well, Asian characters, maybe there are people from China or whatever, depends, like Ghost of Tsushima, where they're Mongolians, I forgot. People did tell me, but I forgot. Doesn't matter. Like, the game is fully in Japanese. I mean, there are Asian voice actors who speak English. It's a terrible example. But still, if the game is could be made fully for country, like it's for English, right? If it's gonna be translated in Russian, it's much less people who speak Russian as being Asian, unless it's people from like Kazakhstan or something, which is still kind of technically Asia, at least parts of Asia, or Kyrgyzstan, stuff like that. And then we'll have something even like less prominent in like maybe German, maybe Italian, maybe even something smaller. Like, it's not gonna work. Or not voice over it at all and have only the original voice actors. That'll be annoying for a lot of other people. Maybe even people with actual problems reading stuff, dyslexic, or maybe some other kind of disability. Something that stops them from reading subtitles. Maybe not fully, but at least fast enough for the dialogues. Or maybe not read, but comprehend something. It's a good thing. Just shut the fuck up. It's fine. It's just I'm not gonna. Why am I going at it if I'm not gonna change anybody?
With more females and more minority groups of people in video games are starring as main characters. Shocker, I know. In fact, I'd like to see more of it myself. There really aren't many black female characters in gaming. But if I really wanted to see...
Well, again, the Randall. Remember Me is kind of there. Left 4 Dead you can play. It doesn't matter. There are, it's not a lot, but there are some. I lost the point for the second time. I paused it because I remembered it. Oh, there are characters that are like... It's very prominent in the anime, but there are like male characters that are voiced by women. And it's fine because the voice fits. So why is that not a problem? Would you want a character and then a lot of stuff in Russia and probably more other countries could have amateur voices, amateur like voiceovers that has just one voice, one person just does it. How would they do anything? Guess that's amateur, that doesn't count. It's, I don't know.
That vision come to fruition, I wouldn't be writing rage bait articles for Kotaku. I remember being crushed when my choices for Commander Shepard were blonde, brunette, redhead, and 2 paper bag test-passing tan women. Am I missing something? Does Mass Effect not have like a skin shader? Oh, it does. Why are you writing this again? It sucks when games forget about you. Almost 5 years after its launch, Overwatch, a game in which its colorful, disabled, and queer characters are a large part of its appeal, still doesn't have a playable black woman. Okay, bro, if you were gonna slam any video game for not being diverse enough, it is not Overwatch, okay? Are you kidding me? They got Donkey Kong in there. What more do you want? So the title implies that companies are trying to pander to people with diversity quotas, which is the lady writing this. Now,
so who's supposed to voice over, like, if you're talking about Overwatch, the Widowmaker? What? Her skin color is like grayish blue. Who's supposed to voice her? Who's supposed to voice the monkey? Who?
What's ironic is she's complaining that they're not pandering to her hard enough, while at the same time blasting them for apparently pandering to her. It's very confusing. But basically, this lady is a total hypocrite. It's just...
That's it.
An excellent stroke of irony. Despite the memes, I think most gamers aren't against diversity. I just think the people that are often pitching these ideas are doing a real shit job about it. But here's a real head scratcher for you. Why do games have to be progressive? And just how progressive do they need to be? Is there
I think they have to be.
But I digress. What if video games were instead...
For me, they have to be progressive in the gameplay mechanics. If it's a side-scroller that came out like this year, it should be more progressive gameplay-wise, art style-wise, than a side-scroller from an NES era or a Sega era. Like stuff like that, better than 8-bit, 16-bit. Even if it uses that style, it should feel better than the games did back then, when there were so many limitations on game developments and just playing the game itself. Everything else, I don't give a shit about. And people might say it's because I'm cisgendered, white, straight, male, I don't know, another adjective or two in there, stuff like that. But I wouldn't give a shit otherwise anyway. Like, there aren't a lot of gay people in games. There aren't a lot of gay people in real world, like just the percentage-wise. If there would be in every game, that would be kind of weird, I think. And if they would be in every game, that would be pandering, and the people who would be asking for it would say, stop pandering to our community. It's a losing battle on any side. And that's gaming and any media.
Enough? No, it wouldn't. Moving on, there was a pretty controversial tweet a couple weeks ago about Horizon Zero Dawn and Aloy. You probably saw this. Is it me, or Sony be making their lead female protagonist look masculine as hell? Barely no curves or rough feminine features. Apex Alpha J, true to his name, shared his alpha male status in the replies. All I hear is bunch of beta males on here. Very unfortunate, more butthurt, I suppose. Oh god, you're so butthurt that I said something
I hope it's a troll.
Stupid. Oh god, I was
really
trolling you. You just butthurt, you beta male. God, you're so below me.
Like the whole account, not just the
12
post.
times a day. Why is it when like these tough alpha males get criticized that they find it so necessary to just like constantly reply to shit and just be like, I'm so tough, y'all are just betas. Like
Your opinion doesn't matter, and then
insecurities
replying to every opinion.
The replies are pretty golden. I will say I had a field day looking at these. The best one being the fan art that this dude uses was actually made to make fun of people like him. It's, God, so much irony today. There's like a million things wrong with this post. We can make fun of it for hours. But here's an idea. Given the setting of Horizon Forbidden West,
She should be buff,
you could
yes.
probably assume makeup and looking pretty aren't big fucking priorities. These people have to kill robot dinosaurs to survive. Okay, you thought dinosaurs were scary? Now they're robots too. Who the fuck has time for makeup? Aloy's not even ugly, bro. Are you kidding me? You're acting like she needs an Instagram filter on her face at all times. She's a freaking, like, cave woman, Amazonian, survivalist.
Her does look big.
Strong female character.
For the body, but...
what does it matter?
Does the game have to have a attractive protagonist? Especially attractive for everyone, which is not a thing unless you have a good character creator. Like Elden Ring. Where so many attractive characters like Shrek or Thanos can appear. But does it have to be attractive? Do you give a shit that much? Like, my main character can look like shit. Like, without character creation or anything like that. If the story is good, I'm gonna enjoy the hell of it out of the game. Like, look doesn't really matter. I don't know.
Prettiness of a character if the story
People
is
give a
good.
shit
If the
about different
character's
things.
Compelling. What does it matter how pretty they are?
Yes.
I mean, looking at the actions
No
and
respect.
movements Aloy performs, like, her body type is totally realistic for this kind of thing. Why are we even having this conversation? I mean, if all you want to see is strong feminine women in video games, there's a game for you, dude. It's called Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball.
I wouldn't say Dead or Alive for a joke, but the fighting one.
Just play that for 10 hours, get it all out of your system, and then shut up. Doom Eternal review. No girls or... Doom Eternal review. No girls or trans people allowed. You know, I'm not sure Bethesda ever said that. Why is there this obsession with, like, subjecting every type...
For the first Doom, I could see it. In the second Doom, Doom Eternal, there are characters, right? There are humans that you walk around as, and I guarantee there are female characters, and you wouldn't know which are trans because you don't have dialogue with them. Who fucking cares? Sorry.
Entertainment and media to criticism if it doesn't check literally every single box. Like, every single type of person, human being on this planet needs to be represented in literally everything. That's not even feasible. Yes, good Sir Nicholas here writing this article genuinely believes Doom Eternal should have featured more trans and women characters. Well, here's a news flash. Trans people and women can enjoy a product that doesn't have trans people or women in it.
Impossible. Perhaps the archives are incomplete.
I will give the writer some credit as they actually do review Doom Eternal and talk about its gameplay, which is a lot more can be said for most of these types of articles. And if you're ever trying to sniff out if something is satire or not, look at its length. The longer it is, the less likely I think it is to be satire. Pax Diorium for 90s kids. It has girls and queer people in it, and open if optional sexual preferences. None of these things exist in Doom Eternal. Raise your hand if you would like the next Doom game to explore sexual preferences, and how that affects our society. Literally nobody. Just as I thought. After Trump...
How would that work? Like you fight a demon for the first time and then you check the description in like a codex and it's gonna say like, this demon was made out of trans people. Is that how it's gonna work? How? How would you implement that? I have no idea.
So, fucking here we go.
Yeah,
However,
there's political
it
part.
pandered to male gamers with a Marvel-esque vision of the world, replete with traditional gender roles tied to binary images of conventional war. Is Doom Eternal
Conventional
explicitly
war?
political? No.
How is this conventional? Ripping heads off people is conventional war? It's not even possible. That's not a thing.
No. But politics and popular media are seldom directly linked in America.
What?
Politics and popular media are seldom linked in America. Have you heard of Star Wars? Did you know it was based on World War II? Look, man, I don't know how
Yeah.
hard a concept this is for people to understand, but products and entertainment are marketed to specific groups of people. I know that my audience is mostly males aged 17 to 32. That's pretty much who I'm making content for.
Same for
But
me,
people
but I'm
outside of that demographic could hopefully still enjoy it.
just
I am
not
a
attractive
makeup
enough for women,
blogger.
I guess.
I tried my hand at that, and it went well. Here's the results. Yeah, awful, terrible. Let us never speak of it again. Nick, do you understand
know,
what
I
a
would.
demographic is? Can you acknowledge the NFL probably isn't going to be advertising tampons on Sunday Night Football? Is there any room for an old Doom fan like myself to enjoy the same game for my own reasons? Yes, but not through its dated treatment of gender and sex. Apparently that's...
Is there any room for an old Doom fan like myself? You enjoyed old Doom. You want the experience similar to the old Doom because you enjoyed that game, but you want that experience changed with the reality of your now thinking, even though that would change the experience from the old Doom to something else, and you wouldn't be able to say like, oh, an old Doom fan such as myself weren't able to enjoy it because it doesn't feel like old Doom or something. People like this should not have a platform to speak.
my problem, not theirs. That is absolutely 100% your problem.
That is
and
true, at
nobody
least.
else's.
Never
I'm
mind.
glad you are self-aware enough to realize that. The problem is, Doom Eternal ignores demons and video game violence as a realm for everyone, especially women and queer people. In Doom Eternal, they simply don't exist. The only two comments on this post, man, what the literal fuck is this shit you wrote? How in the hell do sex and LGBTQ people matter in a game about slaughtering demons? How would that even fit in?
And how...
Bravo. A US politician is trying to...
Look, if any women watching me, are you able to play Doom? Is there like a thing? Like you start a Doom and then a scanner comes out from your PC scanning for a penis? For the natural penis, no trans people either. So the natural penis that you would be born with. And if it's not scanning it, your game just crashes. It just implodes in on itself together with your monitor. I don't know. Is that how that works? Why wouldn't women enjoy? If women would enjoy slaughtering demons, they would enjoy Doom. If trans people would enjoy slaughtering demons, they would enjoy Doom. It doesn't matter what they are, what the person is, what they did, what... It's all about preference. And just because maybe less women play it, less trans people play it, than just cisgendered males. That's a mouthful. If they play it less than that, it's just maybe a preference. Maybe more women would enjoy a different type of game, and it's fine. Same as men would enjoy more enjoy Doom and enjoy less a different type of game where there will be more female demographic than male. It's fine to have that. What the fuck is the problem with it? I don't see the problem with it. Carjackings. What is this about?
ban violent video games in Illinois following a rise in carjackings.
Oh.
So State Representative
Wait.
Marcus C. Evans...
banning violent games for carjacking? I mean, there are a couple violent games that have carjacking in them. I don't think that's the reason. I don't think someone played GTA or Watch Dogs or Just Cause. Played a game, a violent game, and they carjacked the car. Then they're like, that looks cool. I'm gonna do it in real life. I don't think that's how it went. My good sir, is that you? I don't know.
Jr. is looking to basically restrict the sale of violent video games, among other things. Hey, Mr. Evans, did you ever hear the tragedy of Jack Thompson, the fucking idiot? Do you remember how spectacularly he failed in this very same category? It's like, bro, GTA 5 came out 8 years ago, and people are
Indeed.
still bitching about it. You
9 at
can't
this
just
point.
let Grand Theft Auto go. Leave it to politicians to use a dead horse as their scapegoat for all of society's problems.
Yeah. That somehow is a thing everywhere, apparently.
So this dude is trying to solve the problem of increased carjackings in the city of Chicago. A very admirable goal. Not a very easy one. Tell me, Mr. Evans, why are video games the best route? I feel like this game has become a huge issue in this spectrum. When you compare the two, you see harsh similarities as it relates to these carjackings. Please show me the similarities, Mr. Evans. Illuminate us on the scientifically backed research that led you to this conclusion. Evans said he hoped the bill would...
Sure, it's in the name. It's Grand Theft Auto. It's in the name. The game is not about that, though. I mean, there are missions where you have to steal cars, but it doesn't teach you how to do it. Like in real life, you just press a button and it's done. There are more steps from playing GTA, getting inspired of stealing a car, and doing it. There are more steps in between. Also, it's just one game. It's a very well sold game, but it is. Well, let's say one series. Let's give more room. It's one series of games. Not everybody played that, especially not every fucking carjacker played that and wanted to jack off a car. What?
prohibit the sale of some of these games that promote the activities that we're suffering from in our communities. You know, I'm not sure what's worse, just completely ignoring a problem or trying to fix it in a way that is doing more harm. To all my homies in Illinois, let's vote this motherfucker out. Mass Effect, an amazing trilogy of games, and I cannot wait for a fourth one to come out. I think one was in development, but it ended up getting canceled in 2017. It was a real shame. You might not have heard of it, but either way, these games...
A hot take. I love Andromeda. I think the story is a bit bare bones and it needed a lot of patching, and I think there's still bugs in it. But I didn't encounter a bug that stopped me from playing, like didn't allow me to play. Nothing game breaking. I seen a lot of bugs when I played it. I played it on release. I pre-ordered it even. But the gameplay is fucking amazing. I love it. That's my favorite Mass Effect game for the gameplay, not for the story. And I kind of wish it did continue, but a lot of problems in development made it pretty much impossible to happen. Maybe one day. Because I would love to see a continuation of that. Or at least Mass Effect 4 continuation of the trilogy with the gameplay, at least partially, more than just hiding behind a barricade. Because I think the gameplay aspect in Mass Effect is the weakest one. Like, the story is great, the characters, like the writing, everything. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite series. Fucking Christ. But it's a bit weak in the gameplay, in my opinion. I loved it. I beat all of them multiple times, except, surprisingly, for Andromeda. I just don't want to fuck with Origin again. It's fun as shit. I don't know.
offer
I think hating on Andromeda just because, oh my god, look at the characters, they look creepy. I had a bug where a thing got stuck in the wall. Ooh, I'm not gonna play it again. Do you think that's a dead horse on its own? I don't know. But I do want some continuation in Mass Effect either way.
players loads of freedom in customization and romance options. It is a
Cute.
very inclusive game, and it succeeds at doing that. But being
Even
one of the
white
most
necks can
inclusive
play it.
games naturally makes them a target for people complaining they're not inclusive enough. Mass Effect is the best game ever, if you are a bigot. I realize there's a business in
How?
posting garbage to the internet with the sole intent of making people so angry they click on it. So
Yeah.
alright, Norm, I'll play your little game. I would say the most obvious problem with Mass Effect is its backwards romance system. This thing is an
Oh yeah, you have sex first and then you meet the character and then you introduce yourself in the end of the game. Yeah, backward system.
incel's wet dream.
that mean?
I don't really have words right
Wait,
now.
what was that?
System. This thing is an incel's wet
Oh.
dream. I don't really have words right now. I think I've been had. This website is called inclusivegamers.com. The bigoted
Yeah.
truth, in all caps, behind Animal Crossing New Horizons. Yep, this is satire. Well,
That's
you
bait.
got me.
You
got
got
me good. But
baited.
let's wrap this up by looking at something equally as stupid, yet not satire. If it isn't coming from Kotaku, then it's Polygon. Mass Effect's revival reminds us it's time to abolish the space police. Let me guess, Yusuf, I take it that
Abolish the space police?
this product released in 2007 and the following years upsets you because it doesn't perfectly reflect the social landscape we live in today. You are bothered that Mass Effect does not discuss the problems you only started caring about a year ago. Perhaps we do not live in a society, as they say. After the wave of protests last
Perhaps.
summer following the police killings of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, the topics of defunding the police began to see more frequent and serious public discussion. Wow, Yusuf, you sound very passionate about this subject. Might I suggest, if you want to write a piece about police reform, write a piece about police reform. This is a
Yeah.
gaming news website, or so I am told. Shepard and the crew are always some version of glorified space cops. How then might an abolitionist perspective
What do you mean always? It's the same character. If he is a policeman, he's gonna... I mean, there could be changes in the story, but... Like, it's the same main character, even if you change them around, it's still the same character. Canonically.
impact a series like Mass Effect? Honestly, what Yusuf and the Illinois state representative are doing is the exact same thing. You're seeking a solution to a problem through a method completely disconnected from that problem. How are we
Yeah.
going to fix the economy after the pandemic? Plant more grass. That'll do it.
And
I
then
hope you all
touch it.
appreciate the burden
That'll
I go through
definitely
in
do it.
reading this junk. Despite openly being against police and saying Mass Effect should abolish them, this dude also says at the end, the series wouldn't be the same if you did that. So what was the point of this? Is your job to waste time? Is that what
Yes.
you enjoy doing? Not that you can't examine games from a social or political view, but, you know, try to line them up. Resident Evil 4, you know, has a pretty clear underlying theme of America interfering with other countries and stuff. Why not talk about that? At the end of the day,
And remake
I'd
is
rather
coming,
bitch
so
about-
it'll be good time for it. Not in July of 2021, but still.
out a main menu or an inventory system or this one annoying glitch than try to create issues in video games where none exist. But that's just me. So yeah, those were some more gaming hot takes. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. And you know what? Post your own hot takes in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to The Act Man for more awesome content.
If it didn't
Alright,
come out a
everyone,
year
that's all
ago, I
got
would
for
talk
today. This is
about
The
my
Act
laugh on
Man
Andromeda.
signing out. Peace!
But yeah. That different. That's a different channel. Doom guy just snaps mid Carnage, faces the camera, says I'm bisexual, and resumes Carnage. Yeah. Just stops, looks at the camera. I was born as a woman, and now I'm a man, and keeps going. It's like doesn't work. You can't put your things in the games that are not about those things at all. That's not how this works. Same with movies. Same with fucking anything. You want your social polite correctness? That's not what I wanted to say. You want those problems faced. Watch or play something that's about those problems. There are a lot of those. Like TV series, the movies, the games that are about social interactions, about society as a whole that we live in. We live in a society. And just do that. Don't play Doom hoping to see people that talk about being trans or being women or being whatever the fuck. Being demons. I don't know. That's not the point. I don't know. Got riled up by more terrible gaming hot takes. And I think I'm done now. So, thank you. Yeah, it's a great video. That goes without saying, but I still want to say it's a great video. I don't know, it's on a different channel. I have to check it out, research a bit later after this, and then I'll get back at you with the information. No, I won't. But thank you, anybody who watched this. I appreciate it a lot, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye. Have a great life, because one of us has to.